Mexico Pintura Reactiva offers a new scenario for painting in Mexico. Artists made all these works unconcerned about the frameworks within technique, the history of art, or the culture. This is the main reason it is called reactive, they just acted by impulse. Many of the artists are not painters, and their work are not paintings, but images. Many of these works portray different aspects of art theories that we saw in class, and there is a few which I thought show this clearly. I arrived at the museum, and in the second floor, this was the first painting, which I thought that it was a meta-narrative of the painter's life in Mexico City, and I think it's meta-narrative because there are certain things that are there and you just don't care sometimes. This painting has a lot of horizontal and vertical lines, a lot of colors too. It's named Chinese Tongue, and you can see at the end of the painting that there is a pandero, and one of the little circles in it, it's the tongue. The artist first downloaded all this from internet. Graphs usually represent the advance of time, but here they are just a temporary. This artist also downloaded this from internet, but an error occurred and he tried to portray this failure. This artist bought a landscape in a flea market and removed all the paint from the canvas. With a chemical process, the mixture of all these colors created this solid green. It's totally shocking how he used the same thing to make something totally different. I didn't really get this one, but it has a lot of symmetry and asymmetry at the same time. Automotive paint was used in this painting to portray in some graphs the consumist as society we live in. The black and gold represent the ghetto beautiful life and the nasty high class. The experience I had with this painting reminded me of the terrazas because I tried to look for further explanations and then I realized it was just a simple sarape. What I could notice about this huge piece was that colored acrylics were joined and overlapped, and they created new colors in the joints. Bitch. I didn't really get these paintings and they had strange names also, as well as this one. This piece was meant for the eye to follow the lines, and it also had like eye names, each of them. The diagonal lines are meant to show movement, and it is funny because this piece was created with real movement. This man turned himself into a burrito with this white canvas and got dragged by a car in mud, creating these strange lines with this particular color. Here is more people with diagonal lines. Awkward. This painting portrays what the painter felt about what each book page said. It was an architecture book. This was the only painting trying to copy something real, and it is the Plaza de las Tres Culturas. This looks like broken glass, but it is actually a close-up to a roadway's texture. Wow! This, in my opinion, tries to explain contemporary art because it has lots of incomplete parts of a whole, but sometimes that's what we get. I didn't really see the Chinese woman until I got home and watched this video. This painting was inspired in some kids and it's called Bird Shit. More diagonal lines, and I didn't get this one also. It's funny because there are lots of colors, but no one mixes with one another. It's funny how this arrangement of lines makes like a dessert, and it is actually dry paint. Desserts are dry. These paintings were made with mole in cooking paper. It's interesting how these horizontal lines were initially vertical, created by paint runoff. This was one of my favorites and it represented the crash of cultures in the Brazilian colonization. Brazil is represented by the colors and the Portuguese by the arrows and the gold. Lots of symmetry, lines, and figures. These paintings were also found or bought in flea markets, but some parts were erased, representing how some parts of history are forgotten.